I'd like to update you about what happened at Council yesterday. Modern communication dictates that I should turn 1,000 pages of content that we had yesterday at the Council meeting, with all the consultations that we've had recently and the papers to Council, plus 6 hours of debate, into 140 characters. Well, I'm going to try and do that in a 4-minute video, so let's go for it. Okay, the first thing we talked about was around the progress that we're making on the strategic plan. So all those priorities that came from the first-rate regulator initiative, all those priorities from the profession and the public that we condensed down into the strategic plan. And we looked at a number of them, and they're contained in the papers, and we've got URLs, I hope, coming up, links coming up for you to click on and go to the detail. But we looked in particular at the Charter, where I'm pleased to say that Council fully supported the Charter. It now does have BVA support as well, which is great, and that will go to the AGM in July, to the Privy Council later this year, and then hopefully formally ratified at the beginning of next year. We also looked at the complaints process, where we're trying to reduce the time it takes for complaints to be processed, and I think we're making great progress there. It means that within a couple of days, anyone who complains will get a response from us in terms of an acknowledgement. Within two weeks, they will have a telephone conversation with us, and what we're aiming for is that no case will go on for longer than 12 months. At the moment it can be 19 or 20 months. So they're some of the ambitions that we're really working on very hard indeed. And we also looked at the alternative disputes resolution system, which I'm delighted to say is embraced by the VDS, and I know that they're keen to see how that works as well, and Council gave its full support to the trial that will take place in November. A major theme running through almost everything we did yesterday was around listening to the profession, and the 24/7 investigation inquiry is a key part to that. We took evidence from so many people, and that really took up most of the 1,000 pages that I mentioned at the beginning. We had select committee style hearings, and we heard from really anyone who wanted to give us evidence on that. We also held that meeting, of course, in public, so that the press and others in attendance could really see the challenges and types of issues that we really needed to work our way through, and I think we got to a great place. We got to a place where we have clarified what the home visits policy, and in terms of when people may or may not need to go on a home visit, that's much clearer now. And there are two other areas that we clarified as well: the legal responsibilities of the owner as well as the vet, but also we've looked at the fact that vets must make it much clearer around the provision that they are going to provide around 24/7 when they're in discussions with their clients. The other area, of course, that's caused great controversy over the last few months has been around the post-nominals, and Council has agreed to overturn the decision that it made in June 2012. That's an unusual thing for us to do. We don't like to revisit decisions too often, but I think the disquiet in the profession has really forced us to really think about that very seriously indeed. So we've overturned that decision, and in fact what we are looking to do now is to look to devise a process where we can look at all the qualifications that exist and which ones should actually feature on the register, and we'll come back to Council with more information on that very soon. We also talked about the new accounts, very exciting indeed, much more transparent than ever before. And also that led us then to a discussion around the fees for next year. What I'm delighted to say is that for the 5th year running we won't be putting up fees, and actually when you look at that, although it's been actually in terms of inflation over the last 5 years, inflation has been pretty low, it would mean that fees would be closer to £345 a year rather than the £299 that they are now. And in fact, in comparison to other regulators, we are the cheapest, which I think is a brilliant thing to be able to say. And I must add to that, you get a Royal College and a regulator in one. So if we were to combine the GMC plus the Royal College of Surgeons, of course, or GPs, then you would find that the cost of the GP is much greater than it is to you. I do believe we are value for money. We are really working hard on improving what we do at the college, and even some of our greatest critics have said to me recently that they can see signs of improvement. Now, I'm well aware of the Dutch proverb around trust, that trust comes on foot and leaves on horseback. And I know it's going to take us time to rebuild some of the trust within the profession and the public, but I can tell you we're working very hard to do that. Thank you.